Okay, welcome to Audio Essentials. Today we're talking about the relationship between sound pressure and distance. So, the farther you get away from the source of a sound, the quieter it's going to sound to us. So there's an equation for that. First of all, sound pressure is measured in what's called decibels, which we write as dB, lowercase d, capital B. Decibels. And when we're talking about a measurable amount of sound pressure, it's known as dB SPL, so sound pressure level. Alright, so if you say something is 120 dB SPL, that should be pretty uniform no matter where it is or what is causing the sound. This is the constant level. Alright, so the relationship. Whatever, let's say I've got a speaker here and it's blasting out some music, and let's say I'm standing right here and I've got some kind of a little microphone with a audio measuring tool on it. So let's say I'm standing 1 foot away and I'm measuring the sound of this. The sound pressure is measuring at 120 decibels, which incidentally this is very loud. 120 decibels equals the threshold of pain. So if you're experiencing something at that level going right into your ears, it's causing permanent hearing damage. You might not be able to notice it, but it gets worse over time and the longer you're exposed to it, but your body tries to tell you this is not good for you. So, but let's say that that's how loud it is coming out of here. So we're standing 1 foot away, alright, and it's 120 dB. So the rule is, here's the equation. If you double the distance, that will equal -6 dB from the original. Okay, so if I step back and I go 2 feet, then I'm going to -6 from that. So that would equal 114 dB. If I double this again, meaning I go 4 feet, so just going 1 more foot to 3 feet doesn't put this equation into effect. But if I double it so that the whole thing is -4 feet, then that would be -6 again, and I would measure at 108 dB. Okay, so no matter how far away you are, if you double the distance from the original measurement, then you -6 dB. So let's try this again. I'm going to delete some of this. I'll leave that up there for you to see. Okay, so let's try one where here's my speaker, and let's say I'm standing here and I am 50 feet away. And let's say I double it to 100 feet, and then I try another one at 200 feet. So at 50 feet, if I measure it at 100 decibels, then when I double it, that will be -6 dB, so that would be 94 dB. And then here I've doubled the distance again, so that's -6 one more time, and we're at 88 decibels. So you can see if you're starting at 50 feet, by the time you've gotten 100 feet, that's a lot farther away than 50 feet, but it's only gone down that much. So there's a more dramatic effect the closer you are every time you double it. It also means if I moved up to 25 feet, I would add 6 decibels. So that would be 106. That means that whatever's coming out of the speaker is pretty dang loud, because I could get, by the time I'm 1 foot away, that's going to be pretty loud. Okay, so let's try a slightly more complicated one here. Let's say I'm measuring it at let's say at 1 foot away. It doesn't have to be feet even. It could be 1 meter. Okay? Just matters if you're doubling it. 1 meter is measuring at 90. So now how loud is it going to be if I am 64 meters? Well, let's see. How many times am I doubling it? Here's 2, 4, 8, 16. This is not to scale, by the way. 16, 32, 64. So I've doubled it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. What's 6 times 6? That means 90 minus 36. So my answer would be 54. All right. Let's try one more. What if I am what if I'm 2 feet away and I'm measuring 100? So then how many is it going to be if I'm 128 away? Okay, well, how many times am I doubling this? It's probably going to be 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 64 times 2 is 128. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that I've doubled it again. 6 times 6 is 36. 100 minus 36 is 64. So here I'm at 64 dB. Alright, let's try one that's the opposite of that. If I'm standing, let's say I'm standing 100 feet away and it's measuring at 80 decibels. How loud is it going to be if I am I don't even know how to divide that in half. Let's say 5 feet away. Okay. So let's divide it in half. So that's 50. Another half, 25. Another half, we'll say 12. Another half, close enough, 6 feet. So we've divided in half 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 4 times 6 is 24. In this case we're adding because we're getting closer. So 8 plus 24 is 104 dB. Alright. And remember, 120 dB is what? The threshold of pain. So this is good to know, because if you are the one running, you know, let's say you're in charge of setting up the speakers for a concert. I mean, I'm not an audio engineer, so I don't know what the real rules are of this, but if you've got your speakers here on the stage, I would guess you don't want them louder than that. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but let's say you have it at 120 dB. So this guy right here by the stage is getting his ears rocked, right? He better have some earplugs in. But then this guy that's way back here, so if he's standing 1 meter away, and back here this guy's 100 meters away, it's going to be a lot quieter for him, right? We're talking about, let's see that, well, let's say it's 120, so that's about 7 times. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 6 is 42. 120 minus 42 is 78. So right here, somebody standing way back here is only hearing it at 78 dB. 78 dB is not very loud. This is crazy loud. 78 is not. Like, I can probably the people that are standing right next to him, he's just here trying to enjoy the music, and here's some other couple that's getting drunk and they're just talking to each other in their loud voices. So they're going to sound a lot louder to him than the music is. So what do you do in that situation? And there might be people even farther back. So that's why you might have another speaker here halfway down the field or something, so that you can crank that up for the people in the back. You can't crank this one up, or these people will, their heads will explode. So you gotta put some more speakers farther back so it'll sound louder for these people. Alright, that's it for sound pressure and volume loss. We'll see you next time.